All right, welcome back to Market Lens, your go-to crypto flash briefing. Look, today the entire market is basically holding its breath, waiting for one single event. We're going to break down exactly what you need to be watching, asset by asset.
So, let's just get right into it. What is the one thing that has every single crypto trader, you and me included, completely glued to their screens today? What's the big deal?
You guessed it, it's the Fed's rate decision. The FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee, all eyes are on that interest rate announcement. And maybe just as importantly, the press conference that comes right after it. Now, here's why this is so crucial. This whole situation creates what traders call two-sided risk. Think of the market like a coiled spring. It is wound so tight and it could snap, I mean violently, either up or down. So you've got to be ready for a pretty big whipsaw in prices once that news drops. Okay, so with that stage set, let's kick things off with the big one, the market bellwether, Bitcoin. It is absolutely bracing for this volatility.
What's fascinating with Bitcoin right now is this battle that's happening just under the surface. It's a real tug of war. On one side, you've got this massive bullish force, right? The spot ETF inflows are still looking really, really strong. But pulling in the complete opposite direction, you've got long-term holders who are finally taking some profits and selling. This is the exact dynamic that's creating that frustrating choppy price action that everybody's feeling.
And these right here are the numbers that truly matter. Let's talk levels. Support is that absolutely critical line in the sand between $112,000 and $113,000. If we lose that level, things could get ugly fast. Now the prize? That's resistance, up at $115K to $116K. A clean break, and more importantly, a hold above that level, well, that's what could kick off the next big momentum run.
Okay, let's pivot over to Ethereum, the number 2. The question here is it actually getting ready for its own major move, kind of independent of all this macro noise? You know, the medium-term setup for ETH is looking incredibly strong. You've got this triple catalyst threat lining up. First, you've got the huge Fusaka upgrade that's slated for December 3rd. Second, the spot ETF inflows just keep coming. They're strong and consistent. And third, and this is a big one, we're seeing huge corporate treasury accumulation. I mean, Bitmain just added 3.3 million ETH to its balance sheet. That is a massive vote of confidence. But for all that good news, there is one number that matters more than anything else right now. The key battleground for Ethereum is at $4,300 resistance level. Getting above that price and staying there, that's the signal traders are all waiting for. That's what could clear the path for the next leg up, maybe even towards 4,800.
All right, let's keep this pace moving. We're going to switch gears over to our altcoin watch. We're focusing on two names that are making some serious waves today, Solana and XRP.
Let's start with Solana and just look at this number, $69.5 million. That was the inflow for the brand new Bitwise Solana ETF on its very first day of trading. That is a massive, massive signal of just how hungry institutions are for SOL right now.
So what does this mean? In trading lingo, this creates what's called a structural bid. Really all that means is that there are now large, consistent buyers in the market, the ETFs, that literally have to buy SOL every single day to meet demand from their investors. It just creates this underlying floor of buying pressure.
And you know what? This momentum isn't just happening in the financial markets. This is huge real-world adoption. Western Union, a global giant in payments, has officially chosen Solana to build its stablecoin payment network on. That's a huge validator for the tech.
Now let's pivot to XRP, because the story here is all about supply and demand. The amount of XRP that's actually sitting on exchanges, ready to be sold, just hit a 5-year low. And you know what happens when the immediately available supply shrinks like this? It means any pickup in demand can cause much more dramatic price moves.
And of course, that tightening supply is getting amplified by all the constant chatter and speculation about a potential spot XRP ETF. I mean, after the success of the Bitcoin, ETH, and now Solana ETFs, the XRP community is absolutely buzzing, thinking they've got to be next in line.
Okay, that was a really rapid-fire look across the entire space. Let's try to bring it all together into a few key actionable takeaways that you can actually watch for today.
So here it is. Here's your watch list. For BTC, it is all about that 112K to 116K range after the Fed speaks. That's the zone. For ETH, you got to watch the ETF flow data. Do the buyers show up after the announcement? For Solana, keep an eye on those new ETF inflows. Does that huge demand continue? And for XRP, it's that classic battle, the tightening supply versus some of the recent short-term outflows.
And really, that leaves us with the big question of the day, doesn't it?
The entire crypto market is on a knife's edge, perfectly balanced between these powerful bullish catalysts and all this macro uncertainty from the Fed. So, which one is going to hit first? That's your flash briefing. Stay sharp out there.